Hi everyone, it's Rita. I am an Akashic record reader and accessor. I've got my Akash open, and there's a question here about. I got an email from somebody stating that they had entity energy on him, and he's been through all these different things, and he can't get rid of it. And it reminded me of a friend of mine who has been going through this stuff for a while now, and so I reached out to her. And she was telling me about a system that she found, because basically you really need to know that you are a powerful creator, and this whole thing around entity energy and things like that, these are things that you are creating and bringing into your space. Sometimes then what you do is, like, once you feel it, then you reach out to somebody because it feels beyond you, right? And everything is within you. You have access to everything. You're a powerful creator. And so we've got a situation where then you, give your power away to somebody else, who then tells you, oh yeah, this is what they look like, and then you've got a program going, right? So you get an opportunity to change your programming, and that's what this regulating of your nervous system, this book is about. And I'll put the name and stuff below. So if you're dealing with this, it's an approach. And she healed herself of chronic pain by doing the same thing, talking to her body. And so I was hearing this is an important message for a lot of people right now, because if you find somebody, you start looking for somebody to help you. She paid thousands of dollars to one person, and it didn't work. It's not going to work unless you really believe it and you create it in your mind with them. I'm hearing, yeah, of course it could work that way, but then it just reinforces, that you've got to go to somebody else, that you can't, regulate your own system. So what else do we need to know? We need to know where you focus, you create. And it's going to apply to everything in your life. And they want me to mention, somebody told me a long time ago that I have these 5 signs in Pisces. And so if I'm near the water, I might not be as grounded, And if I lived in the mountains, I would need to go to the sea a lot. And so this morning I realized that was a program. And so I started saying, I am grounded. I'm grounded. I am grounded. I'm more grounded near the water. I am so grounded by the water. And so, start owning, and then I muscle test, right? And so that's how I know, when I'm grounded. I figure out my yes, no, and I know that if it's accurate, my energy's flowing correctly. Sometimes our energies get reversed, and you've got to do some steps to get it back in alignment. What else do we need to know about that? They want me to mention I've got a membership group where we open up the Akash of the group, and I open up the Akash of humanity, and we ask what we need to know for the week ahead. And right now we meet on Thursdays, and if you can't attend the meeting, you'll get a copy of the video, which will be posted in a Patreon site, and it's $11 a month, so it's not uber expensive. And it's supportive of my channel and stuff like that. So what else do we need to know? If you have a belief around entities, like I like to clear my field with Palo Santo and stuff, then you're going to be in a position to have invited that energy in. And so sometimes you will feel these things, right? So, but it's because you have a belief around it. And if you think it's possible, then you will create it. I've got a friend who would do these energy things, these meetup groups to share energy and stuff, and they'd all play with each other and stuff, and there really wasn't, she told me, she was really a big believer in entities, and so she was like, every time we meet, I clear an entity from somebody. And I was there for one of those, and it was kind of horrific. So in my mind, I've got this thing where all these things are possible. But I think that you really need to be, if you're working with a healer and they believe it's possible and you believe it's possible, then you'll create it. It doesn't mean that it's not real for you, because you're a master creator, you're a master being. But really owning the energy that you don't need anything outside of yourself. everything that you want is available to you. You know, don't discount pain and grief and things like that. Like, I had to learn. For 5 years I kind of self-medicated, and you know, back in after my grandmother died in 1999, and it took me a while to learn how to grieve. So I cathartically will move the energy of grief if I have any sort of feeling of loss of a person or situation or animal, or, you know, I cathartically lean into thinking about whatever that is and feeling the, like with my grandmother, feeling the absence of it. I did that with my mother, and I did that with my father. And and loss of childhood stuff, loss of my dog, yeah, things like that. So I just leaned into feeling, thinking, intentionally controlling it, right? So I would think about it, and then I would feel the pain of it, and I would cathartically cry and move that. And so one of the things I've learned with that sort of work, somatic work, is that it'll start to happen almost automatically, you know, for you. So the more you practice those types of things. And a friend was just sharing a breathwork practice, a deep breathwork practice that she does, that she realized when she had an emotional response to something, it's like her body automatically kicked in and started breathing in that way to release the energy. And that's happened to me when I've done volunteer work. Like, I did volunteer work in a men's prison, and my first time there, I'm sitting in circle with these men, and my feet started tingling, and I was like, whoa, you know, like that was the energy, a nervous energy or whatever that I was picking up, just leaving my body. So we are all energy, and we really have to try to get our head around that, because we only see this, and we play with this, and we have a great time with this, but we are mostly energy. And if we can own that place more and more, that we're energetic beings, and we see any sort of obstacle in our life from that higher perspective, that's loved and supported by non-physical energies, guides, angels, those sorts of things, knowing how loved and protected you are and supported, just ask and it's given, you know. So I'll leave a link for this book, so if you know of anyone dealing with entity energy or whatever, it's below. And you can start them on that program. There's an online program, and it's a way of regulating your nervous system and putting you back in control. All right, blessings and love to you. Take care.